Hey everybody, it's that time of year again. Time to whip out the Snowmaker. This is my fourth attempt at running this. Last year worked very well. The year before, and I did put that up on YouTube, my YouTube channel there. Um, Pretty excited about this year. Made some more changes. Hopefully, we will get more volume of snow and less nighttime overnight management of it as well. So, like I said, this is my latest run of my external mix, do-it-yourself Snowmaker from nozzles purchased from snowathome.com. Revision 3 is on my channel. Revision 4 adds some electric heat to the snowhead to prevent freezing. Hope you enjoy. Okay, this is Snowmaking Take 4. It is coming up on the evening of Saturday, the 13th, 2021. I haven't been able to run the Snowmaker since January 1st, 2019. Weather wasn't cooperative. This time I'm going to go through the setup and the system so that people have an understanding what it is versus me just showing making snow. First thing is your water source. What I did was just got your city water tap, which usually stays about 40 degrees when it's coming from underground, even in these cold temperatures. There's a run at Lowe's for pipe insulation, so if people are smart, they know that the pool noodles are the same thing and they're cheaper and they're easy to get. So I used a bunch of pool noodles and insulated the water supply line over to here. Now we have, this is the main core of the setup, we have an air compressor and a power washer. Now this is very important. The power washer can be any halfway decent electric power washer. Even the cheap ones work fine. Just 1500 psi or higher, and that's about it. But the real kicker, this is what keeps people from doing this, is the air compressor. This is an American-made Ingersoll Rand air compressor. And the big thing is that if you are looking for an air compressor, it has to be able to run at 100% duty cycle, 90 cubic feet a minute at or 4.4 cubic feet per minute at 90 psi. Nothing less will work. No cheap Chinese Harbor Freight air compressor will do. You have to look at the fine print. It's got to be able to be rated to be run 24/7, non-stop, all day, all night, and never cease. So this is where your money is right here. It's the air compressor. This is an Ingersoll Rand. Now, if you notice, I put a calcium filter, help keep the hard water stains off the windows. And we have an insulated supply line going to the wand, which is nozzles, a nozzle kit from Snow at Home. You have your nucleation nozzle, very, very fine mist nozzle with a filter on it that's internal. You have your air supply blowing over the fine mist. You have your fan nozzle, and then another fine mist nozzle here. Now, what's different this time is every year I've had to do this, I've had to babysit this thing because this would all get all frozen up, and it's constantly chipping away at ice every 5 minutes because it was that cold. Your air supply line comes in here. Your water supply line comes up from the inside. And this time I got some gutter hose or some pipe hose or pipe heater wire. This is 7 watts per foot, and I wrap it around the key areas where I usually have ice buildup. I'm really, really hoping that I don't have to babysit it this year and lose a whole night's sleep or 2 nights sleep or whatever running this. So once the temperature drops below 25 degrees, should be ready to go. You have to go to snowathome.com, and they have this thing called a wet bulb temperature chart. It's very important. Humidity is generally the killer. Like it was 4 degrees below freezing the other day, but the humidity was 95%, and you just can't even make snow at that kind of humidity. So it's cold. We have record low temperatures coming. 8 degrees, -1 degrees, 16 degrees. Right now we're at 27 or so. Once that sun goes down, it's going to get cold fast. The other thing you want to know is once you turn this thing off, or once you turn this thing on, you're done. You can't turn it off, because as soon as you do, you better be quick, fast, and hurry before the whole thing freezes up. So I'm going to put a blanket over this to help keep the noise down, and also to keep it warm underneath there. Also, one thing you want to note when you're planning, you have to plan for your electricity consumption. Making snow takes a lot of electricity and a lot of water. This setup, running for about 14 hours, will consume about 20,000 watts of electricity and about 1,000 gallons of water. So I have the air compressor on one circuit breaker, and I have the power washer and the heater on another. And otherwise, you'll be popping circuit breakers all night. It'll never run, because this is about 15 amps, and the air compressor is about 15 amps. So the setup is complete. We're all done. My insulated supply line, and it's just a matter of waiting for temperature to drop and to fire this thing off. All right, we'll see you when it's running. Bye. So I failed to mention what type of Snowmaker this is. There's two basic types. There's the external mix and an internal mix. These images are courtesy of snowathome.com. Obviously, based on the image here, you can see that I made an external mix. The internal mix is a little easier to make. Its parts are more readily available from plumbing supply places and so on and so forth. But as you can see here, the air output and the nucleation nozzle, they spelled it wrong. The nucleation nozzle are at right angles to each other, and I'll explain how that works. So next video we'll get into more detail there. So, but why do one versus the other? Well, the internal mix Snowmakers are less expensive, like I said, and they mix the compressed air and water inside the plumbing of the Snowmaker. It's not quite as efficient. It's less expensive. It works. But the problem is that, let's say, for example, something frees up or you pop a circuit breaker on your air compressor, then you'll have backwash from your power washer going back into your air compressor, and that could permanently damage your air compressor. You can choose from one of the internal mix designs, actually not below, but on the previous page. The external mix it's all done outside. It's more efficient, a little harder to build. And all the Snow at Home makers that they sell are external. And if you're a DIYer, there's plans for both on their site. Okay, Snowmaking Take 4, Part 2. So what I didn't explain in the initial staging video is how it all works and why it works. Okay, so the first thing you do is, why can't you just spray water and have it freeze? Well, that doesn't work. Okay, why do we have air? Why is this nozzle different than this nozzle, which is different than this nozzle? It's all about being able to make a seed, a snowflake, a seed of a snowflake. So what we have here, this is called a nucleation nozzle. This is a very, very special nozzle. This nozzle, this and this, I got from Snow at Home. You can buy the nozzle kit there, or you can buy complete systems from there as well. But the nucleation nozzle and the air pressure right here, which once you'll see when this is running tonight, is that you have an incredibly fine mist running right here. And then it's 22, 21, 20 degrees outside. You have this incredibly fine mist, and then it's getting blasted with 90 pounds per square inch of air pressure. Now, wind chill doesn't have anything to do with snow. Wind chill is only a thing that has something to do with humans and how we perceive cold. However, when you have an incredibly fine mist of water being blasted by 90 pounds per square inch right over the top of it, it creates a fog, and this nozzle is called a nucleation nozzle because it creates the nuclei of a snowflake. Now what happens is the spray comes up, the air comes across, and you see this fog start to flow upward at an angle where it will intersect with this fan sprayer, and they mix about 4 feet out or so from the sprayer, and then by the time it hits the ground, it turns into snow. This is just supplemental. This nozzle right here, I actually had 2 of these, but based on the air output and water output, the ratios weren't correct, and my first snowmaking attempt 5 years ago was nothing more than spraying ice everywhere. So once I changed that nozzle out, the ratio of air pressure and droplet size and the fan sprayer were perfect, and that's how that works. The big thing is, other thing I want to note is when you are using your air hose, do not use a regular rubber air hose like for your air compressor for filling up your tires or whatever. It's too narrow, and there's a lot of moisture that gets built up in the system and will collect down here. If the moisture doesn't have any place to go, it'll freeze and everything shuts down and you're done. So use a nice wide diameter hose so that moisture can sit there and pool along the bottom here and not get in the way. Now, if you have a really nice air compressor, then you can filter out the water, and then you're okay. But that's generally what happened to me the first time. Is this was too narrow, my hose was too long, and I was using a rubber hose, the standard rubber air compressor hose. So there you go. So let's go for it tonight and see what happens. And hopefully this pipe wrap will keep me from having to babysit. Bye-bye. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to do a string of videos back to back as the evening and the next day progress, and you'll see just what kind of volume we're talking about. I mean, there was a lot of wind, so it did cause some drifting. It would have been nice to have been one big pile, but it is kind of funny to have it on the neighbor's roof as well. So that's always fun. But we're wrapped around the side of the house and on the fence and everything like that. All right, here we go. Turn it on. Starting to get some accumulation. Air pressure's a little low, but it still seems to be working, and my pipe wrap to keep everything defrosted seems to be working. That's so cool. It's pretty legit. Over here. It's looking good. I think we're gonna do really well this year. I think the fact that the heater is keeping everything from freezing over, that means I can actually get some sleep. Unless the circuit breaker pops. Oof. That's like whiteout conditions. Alright, let it run for a couple hours. Alright, 2 a.m. update, been running for about 5 hours. Quite a bit of snow. Oof. That's so cool. Oh. This is nuts. Look at that. Oh, wow. 19 degrees outside. Ooh. Okay, wow, look at that snow. Everything seems to be going well. Nothing's frozen up. Ooh, okay, good morning. It's Sunday, Valentine's Day, and it looks like we got a little bit of natural snow. It looks like about a ½ inch or so. But we've been running for 10 hours right now. This is what we got so far. It's still 18 degrees outside, so we've got really good situation going right now. We've got you can't really tell how big that pile of snow is. Well, kind of. But it's pretty good. Supposed to get a snowstorm today or tomorrow. But that's about 12 inches of snow on the top of that pile right there. Oh yeah, that's at least 12 inches. You can't really tell, but it worked very well. That heater wrap helped keep things from freezing up too much. I had to come out a little bit, but there you go. Cool. Okay, we're at 12 hours right now, and the pile in the middle of here is actually 14 to 18 inches deep, but then it carries around the other side of the house, which is 2-3 inches there. So it's actually, the volume of snow is really impressive for one main sprayer and one nucleation nozzle setup. It's been really, it's snowing for real right now. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to run it, but it's really, really looking good. And it's quite a bit of snow, and it's about 14 degrees right now, and nothing's freezing up, so it's great. Okay, so this is like the most snow. It appears like this is like the most snow I've ever made. Okay, almost whiteout conditions. I got 4 to 6 inches back here, and it's still. Got a 16 to 18 inch mound of snow over there. Dog likes it. Now it's really snowing. Snowing pretty hard for real, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut this thing off, and that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching. Oh, there's Sophia. Running for a little bit more. I'm going to turn it off after breakfast. We're supposed to get a blizzard at 2 o'clock anyway. So I took some stills with my camera just to share. I thought I'd like to see. And the nice part about it is when you look at some of these, you can see the fog that I was talking about, how it's mixing in front of the sprayer, like I indicated. Right here, this is really cool. You can see it carries pretty far. Dog. It actually turned out to be quite a bit of snow, probably the most I've ever made. So as you can see, it was about 1,000 gallons of water, about 25,000 watts of electricity, and the memories from that are priceless. It was really a lot of fun. Maybe I can do some more improvements next year if we get enough cold. It's been 2 years since I've been able to run it last time, and this is the coldest it's gotten in Dallas in the last 74 years. So I'm not sure I'll have another chance like this for a while, but it was still a lot of fun, and the heater wrap really did a nice job. So please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thanks a lot.